I want to say a couple words regarding Jim Range. It is really humbling to get an award named for Jim Range. And unlike many of you, I never had the opportunity to know him personally, but his legacy is unmistakable. And from everything I've heard from many of you in the audience, I've got to believe that he would be very proud of the bipartisan work that went into passing the Sportsmen's Act on the United States Senate last week. I think he knew what too few of our colleagues seem to grasp today, that hunting and fishing and the places where we do these things are frankly far too important for us to let them be part of the partisan grudge match that typifies too much of what we do in Washington, D.C. today. And that's what TRCP stands for to me. I suspect it's why you have a motto that is guaranteeing you a place to hunt and fish. That's a motto that means something. It's not just a slogan. It actually denotes some responsibility. And that responsibility is not just about us. It's not just about you and me. It's about making sure that what you and I have enjoyed our entire lives is still around long after we're gone. And I don't know about you, but if it weren't for the opportunity to make that kind of a long-term impact, I'm not sure I'd be up for doing this job. In fact, if you looked me up in a field guide, I suspect under natural habitat it would say desert grasslands, montane conifer forest. It certainly would not say marble halls, pavement, and concrete. I choose to spend time here when I'd rather be chasing elk outside of Taos because working with all of you, we can make sure that our kids and their kids and the kids who come after them have a place to hunt and fish. That's what drives me to keep going every day. And a lot of people in Washington these days despair that nothing can get done around here. And I just haven't found that to be true. What's worse, when it is true, it's usually because someone is willing to let it be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Somebody once said to me, the good news about this partisanship is it's not in the water. And I've found that if these issues really matter to you and you're willing to work across the aisle, you can still do great, great things for conservation. And I think about that every time I'm approving wetland purchases or NACA grants on the Migratory Bird Conservation Commission. It's what motivates me to work on landscape level conservation projects like the 250,000-acre Rio Grande del Norte National Monument that sits on the New Mexico-Colorado border. That new BLM monument boasts some of the best wild cutbow runs in the Southwest. Trophy elk, a huge herd of bighorn sheep, and some of the biggest mule deer in the state of New Mexico. But just as importantly, it ties together one of the greatest conservation quilts in the lower 48 in the United States. A place where 2 national forests, multiple high country wilderness areas, a national monument, a national park and preserve, and one of the largest American conservation properties, Trinchera Ranch, which I hope we'll get to hear a little bit about later, are all woven together to preserve one of the most stunning ecosystems in the world. So finally, it's also what motivated my friend Lisa Murkowski and myself to set aside partisanship and to work together to pass the Sportsmen's Act through the Senate last week. And you know, as Whit said, when you get something done 97-0, you think, well, gosh, this must have been a slam dunk, easy thing to do. Ask anybody who's worked on that for the last 3 Congresses. And, you know, every time there was a new obstacle. And to finally get that done, complete with NACA reauthorization and Fish Habitat Conservation Act, My Hunt language, and John Tester's Making Public Land Public Provisions, it really, it really represents the most comprehensive hunting and fishing conservation legislation in a very long time. And I want to say thank you to TRCP and all your supporters, because you made that achievement possible. And lastly, I'll just say I hope that 97-0 portends the future, because I look forward to celebrating with all of you when the Sportsmen's Act is on the President's desk, when he signs it, and when we make a little mark on history. Thank you.